Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to make glazed donuts, both plain and glazed. And please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my video. It really goes a long way and I'll be very happy if you subscribe. Okay, thank you. So here are the glazed donuts. I'm just arranging them in a box. You can make this donut this eat and gift to friends and loved ones, and I'm very sure you will like it. Okay, so in this video I'll be teaching you how to make the dough, how to cut the dough, how to fry, how to glaze, and how to do toppings. Let's get started. I'll first add my flour, all-purpose flour. Please don't forget you need to sift the flour first in the bowl, and then I'm adding sugar next. You give this a good mix before adding your yeast. If you mistakenly add your yeast on top of your sugar, the sugar will kill the yeast. So here I add the yeast and then mix everything. I'll be adding the egg. After adding the egg, I will then add my water and my butter. Basically, I'm dumping everything inside my mixing bowl, and I'll put this in the mixer and knead everything. So here you can decide to tweak it the way you want it. You can decide to add vanilla flavor, you can add nutmeg, cinnamon, anything you want you can add. So I kneaded the dough for about, I think, 15-20 minutes until it's stretchy, it is pale in color, and the texture is soft to touch. So here is it. I'm just trying to get the dough out of the bowl. Please make sure your hands are clean, okay? Before doing this, yeah. So I'm removing the dough from the bowl. You can see how stretchy it is. This is the perfect consistency you want. So you dust your working surface and then put on your dough and then roll it out. Please, it shouldn't be too thick and it shouldn't be thin. I think I will say in between. In between, please. It shouldn't be too thick and it shouldn't be too thin, especially for people that wants to start doing donut business. Please and please, it shouldn't be too thin, okay? So here I've rolled my dough and I'm just making sure that it's perfect. Then I'll use my donut cutter, dust it a little with flour, and then cut out my donut. So I will do that for the dough, all the dough. Please be very gentle when doing this. Your dough is soft, and please don't add too much flour when you're rolling your dough, okay? Don't put too much flour, because adding too much flour can change the consistency of your dough. So here I've already cut out some A1 paper. You can use parchment paper, you can use ordinary paper. You will see the advantage of using paper to do this step. So basically I'm just putting my donuts on top of the cut out papers, and that's it for this step. So for your remaining dough, you just knead everything again and cut out the remaining shapes. No dough is gonna go to waste, okay? Just knead it very well and then roll out and cut out the shapes. That's basically how you make your donuts. As you can see, my donuts are not too thick, they are not even thick, and they are not too thin, okay? So that's how you cut out your donut. There is still some dough left. I will still knead it again and then cut out until I have exhausted all my dough. So I will put this in the one place. Here I'm using my oven and this is what it looks like after about 40 minutes to 1 hour, depending on how hot the weather is. So here we are going to start frying our dough. As you can see, I carried my donut using the paper, not my hands. If you use your hands to pick the donut from the tray, for example, you might deflate the air that you've already get when the donut was proofing. But with this step, you won't deflate the air in the donut. So that's the importance of using the paper in the first place. And don't forget to dust your paper before adding your donut on top. And you fry for 3 minutes on each side, and that's how you make your donut. As you can see, it already have that white lines and the donuts are floating on top of the oil. If your donut sink down to the bottom of your frying pan, definitely I'm sorry, that's not a donut, okay? But when your donut floats on top of the oil, you're sure you're doing the right thing, okay? And as you can see, the white lines are there. This donut won't be soggy because I fried in medium low heat. If you fry on low heat, it's gonna suck oil and your donut will be soggy. And if you fry on high heat, you're gonna burn your donut without the inside actually cooking. So after frying my donut, I allow it to cool down a bit, not completely cool, but just a bit. The reason for that is when you apply your glaze, it remains shiny. That's just the trick for that. So I'm applying my milk glaze here and just making sure everything is perfect. Different people have different ways of applying their glaze. This is how I do mine. And it's perfect. Turns out to be perfect always. It's just a normal spoon, that's normal tablespoon. And here is my chocolate glaze. So basically the same thing. You just do the same thing for all the donuts. And if it's for salad, you don't like all the glaze and all, you can leave it like that. If you're a sweet tooth, you can decide to just dust it with icing sugar or normal granulated white sugar. But it is even perfect as it is like that. So I've finished glazing and here I am applying my toppings, okay? Alright, so for toppings, you're just gonna like tweak. You just do it anyhow you want it, okay? You can add crackers, peanut, what was it called? Oreo, coconut flakes, anything. One thing I love about baking it, how creative you can be, okay? So that's basically how you, but make sure you dab it on a little so that it sticks to your glaze, okay? Here I'm using coconut flakes, some chocolate bars, you know. So I think the key to a successful donut is in the recipe, the kneading. Because you don't have mixer, you need for about 30 minutes. Sai kun yi kneading har hannunku ya ce na gaji wayo sannan za ku bar shi. That's the step number 2. And then the time you allow it to rise, that is to prove. And then lastly, yawan zafin man kuma, it's very very important. In man ki yayi zafi da yawa zai kona miki donut, and donut in ki zai yi karfi. But idan man ki it's moderate, shi ba zan ce lip ba tun da soya shi za a yi, kada ki wuce ki cika wuta. Alright, thank you guys. Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like.